All right, are we ready? All right. The meeting will start, Mr. Hanlon. Everyone's here except for President McLean and Leo Greedy. Note that, and we can start. Are you already standing up for the invocation? Wow. Okay, the invocation will be by Candy Dow. You were just standing up. All right, let's bow our heads, and since it's 2019, I wish everyone a healthy and prosperous new year, and give all the elected officials and our administration, our mayor, the wisdom and knowledge and energy to bring Allentown to what it can be, a great city. Thank you. Moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have courtesy of the floor, and this is going to be read quite often before the courtesy of floor. There are multiple opportunities to address council. Individuals can speak during courtesy of the floor, addressing items not on the agenda, and during bills and resolutions on final passage and introduction. When given the floor, please go to the podium, state your name and address. All remarks must be directed toward the presiding officer or council as a body, not a particular council member or elected official, the audience, or city staff. Unless otherwise determined, individuals shall have 3 minutes to address council, and individuals representing a bona fide group shall have 5 minutes. Privilege of the floor will not be extended for personal insults or personal attacks on any individual. Name calling or other behavior that is inconsistent with the purpose and intent of conducting official business. Please address council as a body. Refrain from using offensive language, cursing, and making noises while other people are speaking. Act with decorum. Remove your hat and your cell phones off. Thank you. Now, courtesy of the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairwoman, my name is Lou Hirschman. I live in 405 Gilmer Street, Allentown, Pennsylvania, zip code 18109. And I want to wish you guys all a happy new year, and also the mayor, and everyone in attendance. And I also want to thank you for serving. But as we go into this new year, Mr. Chairman, woman, property owners are facing a 27% tax increase and 54% water and sewer rate increase. It's going to become much difficult for many residents, Mrs. Chairwoman. Many property owners will be facing almost the impossible, finding money to meet these increases. Also, the renters in Allentown will be facing much difficulty. As I spoke to a landlord, Mr. Chairwoman, he's going to have to raise his rent $20, $25 a month. And I said, how will this affect your renters? He says, I usually evict 1 or 2 a month because they can't meet their rent payments. This is going to affect more. Mrs. Chairwoman, I ask you and I ask the mayor to reopen a budget, to look at this budget, support cuts. I mean, people are suffering. I read in the paper today where we're one of them 6 cities in the United States got a grant to feed the homeless. So how many more, is that going to be enough money to feed all these people who might become homeless through what you guys did? Mr. Chairman, look into this budget. Make some cuts. We can't continue this the way we're going in Allentown. Several months ago, the controller made a report where the Allentown Parking Authority is charging on the fees and things like that, and Mr. Hartsfield's going to look into it and bring back a report, because they're only giving half of what they promised us. Now, they would give us the money they promised us based on controller's audit, we would have more money. Mayor would have to raise the taxes 27%. Also, the controller made a report on the golf course. golf course always has a deficit. By having a deficit, you say, well, does it affect the general fund? It does. Because we're loaning money to the golf course fund to meet your obligations. And what happens is by using the money in the general fund, we're losing interest on the income from the money that we could be using saving. So, Mr. Chairwoman, I think it's time that we look into what's happening in Allentown. I'm gonna bring out more instances of what you guys have failed to do and what should have been done, so that Allentown will not face a 27% tax increase. And I'm hoping that you guys possibly convince the mayor to do something to reduce the 27%. Thank you, Mr. Chairwoman, and I have 7 seconds for thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hirschman. And is there anyone else who's come up?
Hello again, Kathy Wolford, 429 Ridge Avenue. My question is regarding the police and the vice force. Now, I understand tonight on the Channel 69 News, according to the mayor that I saw in the report, we're only 10 short. We have 212, you want to hire 10 more. Okay, well, I wish we could hire even more. I had a little episode where I had the need to speak with Vice. I phoned Vice, when did this occur? I think it was on Saturday, to report something that I suspect is happening. No one got back to me. Today is Wednesday. So tonight I thought, well, let me try in the evening. This was a daytime call. I called around 4:40 to non-emergency to once again ask for Vice's number. The officer picked up the phone, didn't really identify himself, he just said Vice. Okay. And I started spieling out about what I have on my mind, what I suspect, what I think needs looking into. This person said to me, hey, I have to go, call me back in an hour. I don't think that's a good response for what is supposed to be a Vice squad. He could have redirected me to someone else to take it, anything but that. Because my gut tells me I know something about something that's going on that needs looking into. And I thought if I called them, I would be helping them to help us. That's true. You can call non-emergency. The number 29 officer who gave me that phone number probably has my voice asking for it, and I immediately called over there to Vice. Now, what kind of hanky-panky is that? That to me says, you only have a Vice number, but you can't really use it. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public?
Hello, I live Shoot, 814 Walnut Street, and it's just for me. I want to complain about a property. It's next to a friend of mine's house. The address of the property is 733 Chestnut Street. During the past 2 weeks that this property has been vacant, it's been broken into several times. I've contacted the owner, the property management firm, several times. They have refused to secure the property. Windows are getting broken. People are going in and out of there at all hours of the night. They're firing up the kitchen stove. And my friend who lives next door is concerned that the house is going to burn down. And since it's a group of row homes, if that house burns, it could spread to his place just as easily. And my question is, can council maybe send code enforcement or somebody to the owner of that property, 733 Chestnut, to have them secure the empty property?
Yes, was there someone here from the city?
We have it. Somebody says suggestion, we'll get on it. Mr. Lyon will get on it first thing tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? I'm sorry, coming up, only one bite of the apple. That's it, only one. Okay. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll continue with council. We'll have the approval of minutes. Okay. Old business. Okay. Next, we will have the communications. We had an executive session on January 2nd, 2019. City Council held an executive session this evening, January 2nd, 2019. Did I say 22nd? I meant the 2nd. Beginning at 5 p.m. with Mayor Ray O'Connell and Managing Director Joe McMahon and CEDC Director Leonard Leitner and Associate Solicitor to discuss a personal matter relating to the termination of an employee in the Community and Economic Development Department. The subject matter of discussion falls under the personal and potential litigation exception to the open meeting requirement under the Sunshine Law. That's it for communications. Is there anything else? No? All right. Next we have the reports. Budget and Finance. Chair is Mr. Garidi. He's not here. Would anybody like to, I guess would I comment on it? The committee has not met since the last meeting. The next meeting will take place prior to the council meeting on January 16th. Community and Economic Development Chair, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Community and Economic Development Committee met this evening. We forwarded one bill forward favorably to council. We also had a presentation from the Executive Director of the Allentown Economic Development Corporation, Scott Unger, on the corporation's current projects and relationship with the city. And a further meeting has not been scheduled at this time. Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
Human Resources, that would be me. The committee has not met since the last council meeting. No future meetings are scheduled. Next, Parks and Rec. Chair, Ms. Moda.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sacco. The committee met this evening. There are no future meetings scheduled.
Public Safety Chair, Mr. Hendricks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee has not met since last meeting. No future meeting is currently planned.
All right, Public Works Chair, Mr. Zuppel.
Thank you, Vice President Appa. The committee met this evening with regards to Bill 90, which was forwarded favorably to the council. At this time, no future meetings are scheduled.
All right, Rules, Chambers, Intergovernmental Relations and Strategies, chaired by McLean, Aff, and Greedy. The committee has not met since the last council meeting. No future meetings are scheduled. That's it for the reports and the committees. Next, we have Mr. Glazier in the Controller's Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I regret to inform you that I do not have any reports this evening. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I promise that at the next meeting, I'll have one or two. We'll start off the new year with some good reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. And you better not tweet that I called him Glenn. Mr. Mayor, do you have an administration report for us?
Yes, I do, very briefly. Since we last met, the Iron Pigs Charities has awarded Friends of the Allentown Parks a community grant for nearly $5,000 that benefits the children participating in the Allentown Parks and Rec program over the summer. This grant will be used to introduce about 900 children to a variety of sports and provide the necessary sports equipment to go forth for the summer. Also, even though we do not have a white Christmas, we did have a very wet New Year's Eve. Okay, the fireworks show got good reviews, and hopefully that starts us off with a big bang for 2019. That's it. You're moving us on pretty well.
I have to tell you, that fireworks, even though I wasn't there, didn't see it, Kim made sure she showed it to me. It was on Facebook. And she wants to go next year. She thought it was wonderful and that you never stop it. we have to have it all the time. It was a wonderful display from what I saw. Is that it, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
All right. Now we have appointments, which we have none this evening. Ordinance for final passage to be voted on. Bill 87, Mr. Hanlon?
Bill 87 amends Part 17, Building and Housing, Title 1, Standards and Administration, Section 1705, 03.9, Reciprocity in the International Electrical Code to allow for one-time exception for non-reciprocating electricians to obtain an electrical permit, and also amends Section 2703, Permanent Certificate of Inspection, by requiring a qualified person to be present during an electrical inspection.
All right. Do you have any comments from my colleagues?
Madam Vice President, thank you. This was in front of the Community and Economic Development Committee this evening. We had several questions for the administration. This will be something that's not utilized often by allowing the reciprocity without municipalities that have existing reciprocity with the city of Allentown, and also providing that someone will be on site for electrical inspections will help make sure that we are moving forward efficiently if there are deficiencies in the property. It was forwarded favorably 2-0, being that Mr. Garidi was absent from the meeting. Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Do we have any comments from, other from the dais? No? From the public? Anyone from the public want to comment on Bill 87?
Okay, Bill 87, Ms. Appa.
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks.
Yes.
Ms. Mota.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
President, 5 yeas and no nays.
All right. Now we have Bill 87.
Bill 88. Bill 88 amends the 2018 capital fund budget to provide for a supplemental appropriation of $80,000 from the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission to the city of Allentown to be used for the preservation of Bogart's covered foundation.
All right. Anything from my colleagues on Bill 88?
Yeah, that was in my committee. It was voted, favorably 2-0, the appropriation of $80,000 for, the Pennsylvania Historic and Museum Commission to the city of Allentown towards the preservation of the bridge.
Thank you, Ms. Mota. Any other comments from my colleagues? Seeing none. The public, any comments from the public? Seeing none. Mr. Hanlon, can we have a vote, please?
Bill 88, Mr. Hendricks.
Yes.
Ms. Mota.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
Ms. Appa.
Yes.
Madam President, I have 5 yeas and no nays.
All right, on to Bill 90.
Bill 90 amends the 2018 capital fund budget by transferring $319,429.99 from the 2018 general fund to capital project 1805, emergency water repairs, inoperable valves project, and uncompleted project under water sewer lease agreement with the Lehigh County Authority.
All right, any comments from my colleagues?
Yes, Madam Chair, this was under the Public Works Committee, and as it really well states, the water and sewer lease agreement with them, and it's was voted favorably 3-0 to send to full council.
All right. Any comments from the public on Bill 90? Seeing none, Mr. Hanlon?
Bill 90, Ms. Mota.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Zuko.
Yes.
Ms. Appa.
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks.
Yes.
Madam President, I have 5 yeas and no nays.
All right, resolution for final passage to be voted on. R1. Mr. Hanlon?
R1 authorizes an encroachment for neighborhood signs, wayfinders at Turner and 6, Turner and 7th, Turner and 8th, Tillman and 6, and Turner from 6 to 8. The request was submitted by the city and is tied to the Upside Allentown project. The administration is okay with it, but the signs protrude more than 1/3 into the right of way, so you have to give it your blessing.
Any comments from colleagues?
I have some questions, Madam Vice President. Thank you. These are questions more about the nature of the signs than the encroachment, just because I'm trying to understand a few things with them. So I'm not sure if these would be appropriate for Mr. Leitner or not. In looking at the maps, I noticed that we include City Hall on all of them, but we don't include the courthouse or the government center for the county. I didn't know if it was possible to add anything to these maps or if they've already been produced. Also, a compass, because when you look at them, there's no relative direction, north, south, east, or west. So if it's someone who's unfamiliar with the area, there's no way for them to sort of gain their bearings in that sense. Is it too late, Mr. Leitner, to add anything to these, or?
I can check on that for
Okay.
you. We did have quite a few meetings on these, and these were reviewed. I think that might have been a comment we added. I'm trying to think that from engineering now, we added a comment that there should be a north arrow on it.
Okay, great.
That was one. These might not be the finalized maps. I'm pretty sure these aren't. As for the courthouse and that, I'm not sure about that, but I think these
Okay.
can be. I'm not sure if these are all printed, but I will double check on that.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, even if we can't add any additional sites to them, if we could add the compass, that would be
And I'm almost positive we did
Okay.
make a comment on that already too.
fantastic. The next question I have is, in looking at one of the supporting documents, it looks like we got the quotes through our purchasing agreement. I'm just curious, is this something that we're paying for, Upside is paying for, or we're paying them reimbursing us? I'm just curious who's actually footing the bill for these.
This is all paid through Upside Allentown.
Okay.
There is no city money being used on this project.
Okay, I was just curious, because I know we put it out for bid, so I didn't know if we had to pay for it first and be reimbursed by them. And then the last question I have is regarding the locations, was there a reason that it was only 4 locations picked? Because with the cost of them, they seem to be not too cost prohibitive, so I didn't know if there was a look to eventually put in more of these from Upside.
I think they had a budget to work with. They had a certain amount of money, and that's what I'm understanding, that they picked the areas.
Okay.
The city was not involved, city was not involved with the actual picking of the locations or the amount of signs.
All right.
We just sat with them with all the technical specs for it, so, yes.
Okay, and just a quick aside, good bless you, Mr. McMahon. And we're totally fine with it from a public works standpoint with the on the right of ways, don't feel that there's gonna be any issues?
No, there should be no issues. We're totally fine with it. We went through everything with them as to where they're being placed, and how much they'll be in the right of way, and any obstructions. We went through the whole deal with them.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Any other comments from my colleagues? Anything from the public? Seeing none. Mr. Hamlin is to be voted on.
Okay, with the encroachments, Ms. Moda,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Zupa.
Yes.
Ms. Affa,
Yes.
and Mr. Hendricks.
Yes.
Madam President, I have 5 days.
Next, we have ordinance for introduction. This is referred to committee with public comment prior to referral. Bill 1.
Bill 1 amends the 2019 general fund budget to provide for a supplemental appropriation of $120,000. This is a result of a grant from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Department of Community and Economic Development for the Early Intervention Program to provide for a financial plan and management audit of the city.
Any comments from my colleagues? See none? Any comments from the public? All right, this is going to refer to the committee. Will be voted. This will be referred to budget and finance.
Yes.
All right, that's it. Any new business? Seeing none. Good and welfare.
You got to sign transfers at the back.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, sign transfers, August 18th to December 18th.
So after every quarter, after four council people sign transfers, we just make them available to the public and put them on the agenda, and they're on the website, copies of them are back there.
Okay, that's it. That's good and welfare. This meeting is adjourned.
Is that for 25 minutes?
And big time down here.
You know what?